What's up guys, my name is Caleb, and in today's video I'm going to show you my results from investing every single day for an entire year on the Acorns platform, so let's jump right into it. So first off, I just wanted to mention that I know my title says I invested $10 a day. However, that $10 is the average for this year so far. So I actually invested more than $10 on certain days, and other days I invested less. It just kind of depended on what happened throughout the year, because this year has just been crazy for me. But according to my history, overall I started the year out with about $5 to $7 a day, and then sometime in about May I increased it to $12 a day, and I kept it like that until about August, and then I bumped it up another dollar to $13 a day. And I recently just put it back down to $5 a day a few weeks ago, just so I can do some extra Christmas shopping and stuff like that. So it averaged out to about $10 a day, because as you can see here, if I click on the recent activity, it says my total contributed for 2021 is just over $3,300. And if you do $10 a day for an entire year, that should be about $3,600. So with the 6 weeks left in the year, I should be hitting pretty close to that mark. So without further ado, let's jump right into the portfolios here, because this is where it gets really interesting. So here's my overall performance. For the last year, I am up about 16%. I've seen this drop as low as 12%, and I've seen it be as high as 21% throughout the year, but it's been averaging in kind of like the 15 to 18 range for the most part. It says I'm up $850 on the year, and the all-time I'm up over $1,000 out of the $6,000 that I have total. So that's pretty nice. I have an overall 20% return, which is beating the typical average annual return of the S&P 500 by about 2 times. This is not typical. We've had one of the biggest and best market recoveries in history, so keep that in mind. But I just wanted to show you what I'm invested in here. So if you look at my percentage breakdown of my portfolio, this one is in the Roth IRA account through Acorns, and I chose the aggressive portfolio. So there is only 4 different ETFs that I'm invested in, and there is no bonds involved in this portfolio. So as you can see right here, I'm investing 55% in large company stocks, 10% in medium, 5% in small, and 30% in international companies. Now I'm just going to show you what ETFs are actually being invested in here. So the first one, I'm invested about 55% in the Vanguard's S&P 500 index. This is under the ticker symbol VOO, and this one has had a pretty good return throughout the year. It's up 32%, and we started out the year with this one being at about 325 or so, and it's increased over $100 so far, so that's been excellent. We did have a big dip about 2 months ago, maybe a month ago or so. For the most part, it's staying consistent. It's going in an upward direction, which is nice. Now the S&P 500, if you guys don't already know, it's a index that invests in the top 500 companies in the United States by market cap. So this includes things like Amazon, Microsoft, Apple, Tesla, Google, Facebook. Of course, most of my money is going to go into this. Now the medium company stocks one, this is under the ticker symbol IJH, and this one has had an excellent return too. So it's up 35% on the year right now. We started out the year with it at about 210, and it's up $75 as you can see here. But as you can see, in the beginning of the year is when we had most of the gains, and if you go to the 6 month, we were only up 7%, so it's really not as high. Most of those gains happened in the beginning of the year. Now moving on to the small company stocks, we kind of have the same deal here. So a lot of the gains were in the beginning of the year, but for the last 6 months, it's basically just been trading sideways. It's only up 7%. We started the year out with this one sitting at about $80 to $85. It's up 34 on the year to 118, so that's 40%, even though 7% is in the last 6 months, like I said, and this is under ticker symbol IJR. Now moving on to the last one here, we got the international company stocks. This is the second biggest part of the portfolio here. So this one was at about $62 or $63 at the beginning of the year. It's up about $10 now to 73, which comes out to about 15%. And this one has really been trading sideways for the last 6 months. So even though it's up 15% on the year, on the 6 month, it's not even up a single percent. It's at about 0.5% right now, and it's only gained 38 cents in value. Other than that, yeah, I mean, the portfolio is performing pretty well. I think that it's really beneficial to be investing every single day, because then you're getting a slice of every day of the market. So when you're having a bad day in the market, then your dollars have more buying power. You can get more shares per dollar. Whereas when the market is high, you're getting less shares per dollar. Because of the fact that you're unable to predict this, no matter how good you think you are, I think investing daily is great, because if you're investing like monthly or weekly, you might miss those really good days where the market's like at a really good deal. So the other thing I wanted to mention here was the dividend. dividends. So if I go back to the recent activity, I have $62 in dividends that I've earned so far, which is honestly not bad. Now, if I can find the most recent dividends, I'll show you how much that one was. It looks like right here, we got the most recent dividend was on October 4th at about $9.50. This is from the large company stocks portfolio. This is cool because I only have $6,000 in the account, so $10 doesn't really seem like that much, and neither does the 62, but it really adds up over time, and it definitely has been getting noticeably bigger, because when I first started this Acorns account, when I would get dividends, it'd be like maybe a penny or 5 pennies or like 25 cents when I hit my first few $100. So seeing a single dividend all the way at $10 is really awesome. Now I have a couple of goals that I'm trying to meet by the end of the year. The first one obviously is I want to get out of the $5 a day thing. That is the lowest I've had it this entire year so far, and I want to bump it up to $10 or $12 again by the time Christmas is over. And then I want to start out next year trying to max out this account, because with a Roth IRA, if you don't already know, you can only contribute $6,000 per year to this account. So that comes out to about $16.50 a day. So if I can get even like $15 a day, that would be great. I really want to max out this account in 2022, because this year I've only about done 60% or so of the cap on that, but I've beat last year by almost double, so I'm off to a pretty good start there. So that's kind of what happens when you invest daily into Acorns, $10 a day on average. I really just love Acorns because it allows you to invest daily, like I said, and not a lot of platforms do that. The other thing I wanted to mention here is that what you can do, and what I've started to do recently, is you can do this thing called value averaging. So it's similar to dollar cost averaging, but it's called value averaging, and you basically are investing more when the market's down and less when the market is up. Now here is the VOO stock chart on Webull, and I just wanted to show you kind of what I mean. So notice how this chart is basically from April to now of this year. As you can see, it's like pretty consistent for the most part, but then every so often we have this little down spike that comes down and hits this red line right here. So basically what I do is I'll periodically look at this. I don't look at this like every day, but like, you know, once every week or two. And if it's touching this red line or looks like it's about to cross it, that's when I'll increase my daily investments for like a week or two. So say for example, I'm normally investing about $10 a day, and then all of a sudden it goes bloop, it goes all the way down to that red line, and then I bump it up to like $12 or $13 a day until it starts to recover and goes back up towards where it normally is. So basically when this is happening, I'm able to buy more shares for the same price. As you can see over here, it drops way far below the red line. So this is that crash I was talking about that happened last month, beginning of last month or so. And when it does this and actually crosses below the red line, then I will usually like double what I'm putting in. So I'll even bump it up to like $15 a day. And that's kind of what I want to start doing next year, because then I can get possibly a higher return. The S&P 500 is very consistent and it's relatively predictable because it's, you know, so diverse of an index. But this is just one way to just kind of like get a little bit extra for every dollar and kind of actively participate in it. And this is definitely safer than just trading the stocks and trying to time it that way. So with this, it's like still no matter what, you're investing daily, but if the market's having a crappy day, you can invest a couple more dollars. And if it's doing really well and it just keeps going up, maybe you can dial it back a little bit and prepare for that next crash. So overall, the compounding with Acorns is really consistent. Just like I showed you earlier, if you just take a peep at the graph, I mean, it started off, you know, kind of slow. It was kind of just trickling its way up, but then it really starts to go parabolic once you start doing this for a while. And the more money you get into it, the faster it'll kind of like do that incline. So, you know, granted, I did increase my contributions over time while I was doing this, but at the same time, it's like, you know, there's been $1,000 return in this account. So it really does compound, the dividends add up and all that type of stuff. And as you can see, there isn't any substantial dips in this graph right here. So with, you know, the one I showed you on Webull, there's some very clear cut like drop offs where it recovers again, like it's spiking down. But on this one, it's like you can kind of see them, but they're really small. So I think Acorns is a really fantastic way for beginners to get started with saving and learning to invest consistently for the long term. So I have a referral link down in the description if you want to check out this platform. I think it has a lot of really great tools, a lot of ways that you can learn more and kind of interact with your investments a little bit, but it does kind of urge you to invest for the long term and invest consistently. So any money that you put in this Roth or even the investment account, you should try and put it in there with the mindset of you're not going to take it out for years, possibly like decades. So if you want to see why I invest daily more in depth instead of weekly or monthly, be sure to check out this video right here. And other than that, thanks for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one.